So, talking about the web page and the web app and stuff like that, I'm going to go ahead and start off with talking about the web app and why the next update is going to be smaller than the last update. A lot of people was asking me, why is it that every time that we go to your, why is it every time that we go to your GitHub repo, it gets smaller and smaller and one page or two files? Why do you do that for? Okay, so let's try to make it simplified to where it is. Now, imagine you're building this app and a lot of you, you're using AI and stuff to do what you're doing, and you don't realize that you're taking up all that space to do all that stuff. And after people disconnect from the internet, they cannot continue on doing what they were doing before because they're disconnected. They can't rebuild what the fuck they're using because how the fuck did you build it? With the app that I'm building, and of course, there's some things in there that you can use your AI to do with it. It keeps on getting smaller and smaller. And I mean, every time, remember, I'm writing this code by scratch. Look, by scratch. Yeah, that's what when I was sitting up here watching TV, and I seen the commercial, and the commercial said, "Oh, there's Gemini 3, and all that stuff is coming out, but did you build it from scratch? Possibly not." Every app I've seen so far, I've only seen like there's a few other tubers I see, people out there I see. You write your code by scratch, and you're like, oh, we gotta switch over to AI. Good luck with that. You switch over to AI, and you don't know what the fuck the AI built and how they built it. You don't know where it's coming or how it's doing it. You're just gonna crash. I'm gonna tell you a few things that don't work out correctly. Number one, your content security policy is garbage. Plain and simple. Like if you put the wrong content security policy on there, it's gonna break your app. Things that you want to work will not work. And there's a reason for that is because it's basically trying to bring you to somewhere that doesn't exist. How you doing out there? I'm saying hello to the camera. How you doing? If you got a question about, you know, why am I building from scratch? The reason I build these apps from scratch, like I'll give you an example in which I can't share my screen right now. Let me see. Hey, how y'all doing out there? How you, Snowy? How you, Red? Hi, Albert. What was the other name? Hi, Ontario. Right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain to everybody about my GitHub repository and that I'm writing code from scratch. That look, I bring it to the AI and I say, look at this and tell me what you see, and the AI can't build it. The AI can't build what I'm building. It's having a hard time building it because the AI's never heard of it. So what I'm doing is I'm sharing it with you all in my next update, and when I do, I'm telling you that yes, this is a real human on the other side writing down the code from scratch. It's only one page of scratch. It's only one page of HTML. And the reason that it's so important to me is that a lot of you like to write JavaScript, right? I mean, most of everybody who's watching right now, I know y'all love to write JavaScript, right? This is so easy from scratch. It's one line. Look, from that one line of code on that JavaScript page, it could be a JavaScript page file, or it could be an HTML file. Once you put that JavaScript in there, that one line, you've already begun to create AI. The problem with it is that I keep on making the code smaller and smaller. It never gets bigger and bigger. Every time I go into the updates, I always notice something. everything that I'm doing, it gets dragged into the JavaScript, and then it gets secured into another place. And it's not a CDN. It's not a package. How you doing, Snowy? Matter of fact, I should make some of you all should be, if you're like normal to my channel, you're probably already administrator. Just check on the side, and you should check your name and see if you're an administrator already. So if you've been subscribed to me for a long time, then you're already an administrator in the chat, you know. But let's get back to this JavaScript thing. In my next update, I got this next update coming out, and it's really, really interesting. So we have one line of HTML, one line of JavaScript, and one line of CSS. Now we could implement the PHP, the Python. How you doing, Blade? So now, when I share this code and I start putting it out there for you all, I'll put it in my next video when I get done. I'll show you exactly how I built it from scratch and what I'm doing. And then just think about it for a second. A lot of you, you're like, oh man, AI built that for you. The AI is not building it for me. I'm building it myself from scratch. There's no team of people working on what I'm working on. It's just me. Now, what I'm doing is, and what's crazy is, you don't need a CDN for this. Even if the CDN does touch it, it is still spread all around the world. In the browser cache, how many of you know about the browser cache? So the browser cache, that's like cookies and stuff like that, you know. Hey, do you want this to go in your cache? And you know the cache server? This web page lives in the cache server. But not only does it live in the cache server, it has voice speech. So this means it can speak on the page. So as you type, it writes down each word that you want to say, meaning it does pronunciations. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Thank you, Snow. But what I'm looking at is, people are asking me, why does the code keep on getting smaller and smaller and smaller? And I said the reason that the code keeps on getting smaller and smaller and smaller is because a lot of you want it to go through the compiler, correct? What's your main problem when you try to create your app and you try to publish it to the store? You know, the app store. What's the first thing that you run into? You run into that compiler, right? And the compiler doesn't let you push through all of that code that you want to put through, like Node.js and all that other stuff, you know, what do you call it, React and all of that, right? It's the compiler. As soon as you try to push it through the compiler, we can't put that through to here. You know what I mean? This, it doesn't need the compiler. It skips straight on through. And the reason it does is because it takes the cache route instead. So, for now, I know I haven't been on here for a second, but I'm about to get off here in a second. And then I'm going to go finish up the code. I'll show you, I'll put the repository in the description when I get done. Or actually, wait until the next video that I make comes out. And then I'm going to shrink the code down in the repository base. So, if most of you know what I'm talking about, it's the Mev multi-edit vandalism. Go to that and watch. The repository is going to get smaller and smaller. I'm writing the code by myself. You know what I mean? But I'll be back on here in a little bit. Give me a second. And that's what the update's going to be. It's going to be smaller and smaller. And then that way, you know how to work it. I'll be back on in a little bit.